It's been like 2 months since I dumped these AA batteries all over my table. I keep finding them everywhere. They're like underneath everything in here. And they kind of got me thinking, that little board I use to power this computer off of AA batteries, you could probably run that off a laptop charger, right? Yeah. This desktop computer, now also equipped with a graphics card, is running entirely off of this power brick, just like you can do with a laptop. And then I was thinking, how many parts of this computer can I replace with parts from a laptop? I want to find out. In terms of the real core components of a desktop computer, the CPU, the graphics card, or the RAM, there's not really anything in a laptop that you can drop in place of those without heavy modification. Is what I thought, until I went on AliExpress and found RAM adapters, laptop SODIMM memory modules adapted to DDR3 desktop slots. So this really feels like something that should not work. Laptop memory module, I'll just slide that in there, push it down, and now it's a desktop memory module. Okay, so right now this computer has 8 gigabytes of DDR3 running at 1333 megahertz, which results in a BeamNG performance of 112 frames per second on this scene. Time to shut this down, pull out our original memory modules, and see if these things actually work. Still gotta load this one up into its carrier board, just like that, and we'll slide it into the computer. The other way, that's the way it goes. Well, they are in there. That started working immediately. This thing has 0 complaints about running on a laptop's memory modules. And now in Task Manager, there is our 4 gigabytes of DDR3, still running at 1333. Oh, this is less RAM. I should have found 4 gig modules. Let's just try this. Somehow, despite having only half of the RAM capacity, my BeamNG frame rate is identical. Once it settles in here on the exact same scene, same car, same everything, 112 frames per second. It works? I know this is lowest settings in a pretty low resolution window, but BeamNG Drive runs pretty well on 4 gigs of RAM considering, it's got this message on the screen the whole time saying that it needs minimum 16 gigabytes. Maybe I can increase the capacity by mixing these modules with those ones. Can you mix desktop and laptop RAM on the same computer? We gotta try that. It's very critical you keep your correct SODIMM to DIMM ratio. You need a 50% mix. 50% SODIMM, 50% DIMM to get the best memory. Computer booted, still works. Hey, that actually did work. I was kind of expecting either the desktop RAM or the laptop RAM to show up, but the mix works totally fine. 12 gigabytes DDR3, 4 of 4 slots, still running at 1333. Did this affect our BeamNG performance? Well, the frame rate did not go up, but it also didn't go down. Still around 112 FPS here. Realistically, we are graphics limited here, although that CPU is not really doing much better. I know that this is DDR3, but I know for a fact they make these modules for DDR4, and with the way RAM prices are right now, any way to get more RAM in your computer is a welcome way to get more RAM. If you have a laptop and it stops working, it is absolutely worth the couple dollars on AliExpress these adapters cost to double the RAM of your desktop by repurposing your old laptop memory. This just makes sense. That being said, if I'm buying RAM for a desktop computer, I'd probably just get desktop RAM. I don't know why you would do this unless you already have the laptop RAM. Moving on, how can we make this computer even worse? You know what I'm thinking? This computer is just running too cool and efficient. Those temperatures there, 35 degrees, we can up those numbers. I'm sorry, Dell Latitude. I'm going to be borrowing your cooling system. Yeah, that one will work. So, there's definitely no way this doesn't immediately thermal throttle, but at least we'll find out what frequency we can sustain. This laptop actually has a socketed, upgradable CPU. Unfortunately, I do not know of any desktop motherboards that can take advantage of this. So we're not gonna be worrying about that, and we're just gonna put the cooler onto our desktop chip. Well, the copper contact area on this cooler is significantly smaller than the CPU. I'm sure that's fine. Let's just get this in position. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. I might have crumpled the heat pipe. It looks slightly caved in where I bent it. It was at this point that I remembered. I have two of this laptop and I accidentally took apart the good one that actually works. So I put that one back together. I took apart the other one and I ground the mounting tabs off of the cooler bracket. And now it fits onto my desktop motherboard with a zip tie and some slightly bent heat pipes. With the computer sitting on the desktop at idle, it's running at 54 degrees, which is already not that bad. And I don't even have the fan running yet. If I connect 5 volts directly to the fan wires, that will run at 100% power, and our temperatures, in theory, should go down. With the fan running down to 34 degrees, this little fan is actually working pretty well. Let's put this thing under load, Cinebench R15. Even after an extended full load Cinebench run, this thing has completely settled out at 56 degrees. It's not going up anymore with a little laptop cooler. I know this Core i3 is not that powerful. I might have to get a bigger CPU, because these numbers are like not far off of the Intel stock cooler. So one of these motherboards has a quad-core CPU. I don't know which one it is. I guess I have to turn them all on because I don't want to take the coolers off the ones that I don't need to. All right. This computer's got a more powerful quad-core CPU, and under full load, the pretty beefy cooler that's on it takes it up to 54 degrees. Let's see what our laptop cooler does. And on with this mess. CPU fan error, that's to be expected. Continue anyway. Connect some power to the fan. Ooh yeah, hot air coming out of there. I just looked it up, and this CPU has a 95 watt TDP. Now, I don't think it's actually consuming that much right now, because the entire computer is only using 100 watts, but under full load, 63 degrees with a laptop's CPU cooler. Why is this doing so well? Benchmark is done, 257 points, and our CPU never went over 65 degrees. Clearly, laptop coolers work on desktops. This is absolutely adequate. I was not expecting this result. To be fair, the fan on this is definitely louder than the desktop cooler, and without the fan running, the temperature just keeps climbing. This is up to 86 degrees, but I don't think I even need the fan on full power. Let me just turn this on like 3.5 volts. Yeah, the fan is reasonable noise level, and our temperature graph is starting to go back down again. If you think about what really makes a laptop, it's having a built-in screen. So one final laptop part I think we can get running on this desktop computer is the monitor out of a laptop. I know what you might be thinking, laptop monitor doesn't exactly have a convenient HDMI port, but there is a way to get around that. Somewhere on the back of your screen, you'll find a model number, and if you look up that model number with controller board added on the end, you can find yourself one of these. It's got a bunch of video inputs on it, and it's got the plug that plugs into our laptop screen. Does this work? Sorry, Skip Fratty, gotta borrow your HDMI. Okay. Let me flip this over. Oh, it immediately works. Wow, I scratched this somehow, quite a bit. You can run a desktop computer with a laptop's system memory, the RAM of the computer, cooling system, the power brick, and the monitor. Okay, technically I changed the power supply and the RAM back because I changed computers, but they would all work on this one too. And, you know, this would actually kind of be a decent second monitor. Maybe I'll turn this into something proper. Get subscribed for next week, and I'll see you then. Thank you for watching.